Hey YouTube, how is it going today? Well, I've had several requests to do an update on this stock, so I'm going to be going over 88 Energy Limited, ticker symbol EEENF, give you my projections on what could be happening next, and then after that, I'm going to get into some of the trades that we made today in the Patreon group. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to trade actively and long-term invest as well. I put out trading and investing ideas almost every single day, so if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing. I also have a Patreon group, so if you want to see what we are looking at and trading in real time, that link is in the description. All right, so let's get over to the charts. This is the current daily chart of 88 Energy Limited, ticker symbol EEENF on my TC2000 trading platform. And just a reminder, please remember, I am not a financial advisor. This is all just my opinion for your entertainment purposes only. Please do all of your own research before buying any of the stocks you see on my video. But since my last video on 88 Energy Limited, it's kind of doing pretty much what I thought it would do. After this huge gap down, it's moving sideways. It's kind of hugging that 50-period simple moving average. And of course, that is a very good sign from a technical perspective after a chart sustains such enormous technical damage. You want to see it go sideways and build another foundation so it can potentially start moving up in the future and, filling this gap that it made right around 7 cents. Now, if we take a closer look going to the 15-minute chart, let me see if I can finagle my chart so we can only see after the gap down here. All right, now once it had that huge gap down, it moved up the next day on pretty good volume, but it sold off, and then it jumped up during the beginning of the next day as well and sold off, but then it sold off the following day, but then it was bought up again. So we can see 88 Energy Limited is in a pretty tight range. It gapped up the next day. It has been selling off slightly ever since, but it's still holding the lows that it made from that huge gap down. So this is what you want to see when a stock does have a big move down, if you're kind of trapped in it, like a lot of you probably are. Because if we back the chart out, everybody that bought in this area, unfortunately, is trapped, and they are either looking for a way out or they're averaging down, trying to bring their costs down. If they're a long-term believer in this stock and they want to take a shot on it, now is the time when you want to be accumulating it. But it's going to have to go sideways, I would guess, for at least another couple of weeks or even a couple of months or longer, unless a strong catalyst comes in, like the results from that well. I've also heard some rumors going around they are a potential takeover candidate, a buyout candidate, and I haven't seen any evidence of that, but that is a rumor, and of course anything is possible. So if something like that happened, of course that would be enough to probably send the stock up as well. But once you have enough people trapped like this, it usually takes several weeks or several months to grind through all of those people, because they're going to start selling off little by little. Some of these people that aren't long-term believers, they're just going to get bored, and they're going to be seeing other stocks that are going up, and they're looking at this stock and it's just kind of moving sideways. So eventually they will just be leaving this stock, and that's why it kind of goes sideways. There's people that are buying it if it drops down too low, but if it starts to move up a little bit, there's people that are looking to get out at a little better price. They kind of knock it back down. But, if those well results do come out and if they are favorable, I mean, this could be right back up to 7 cents in an absolute heartbeat, because that was the catalyst that kind of got this stock moving in the first place from what I saw. So if that catalyst comes to fruition, I think EENF could be right back off to the races. But if that doesn't happen, I would just expect this thing to kind of go sideways for another few weeks. So I would be prepared for that. And I would only really get worried if I was a long-term believer in this stock. If it started to break down through this low, looks like right around 0.012. If it kind of started to fade below that, that's when it kind of, one of these penny stocks kind of fade into the abyss. Right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen, but it's something to keep your eye on. But if I was still holding this stock, I probably wouldn't be too worried, and I'd actually be a little encouraged by the price action since my last video. All right, well, now I want to get into some of the trades that we made today in our Patreon group. The first one I want to go over is VIPS Shop Holdings, ticker symbol VIPS. This is one of the stocks that got destroyed in that hedge fund debacle with Viacom and Discovery. And we were waiting for this one to come back down to the 200-period simple moving average. Unfortunately, I didn't take this because I was too busy day trading Tesla options. I'll get into that in a minute. But I know at least one of our Patreons was wise enough to wait for this opportunity, and it did come down, touch that 200-period simple moving average, and then bounced right off it just perfectly. And if we go to the minute chart and take a look at it, we can actually run it right back to the beginning of the day. You can see it was an absolutely monstrous bounce. This could have been a great day trade. I don't think this one has options. Maybe it does. This would have been a fantastic options play if it did, but you can see this thing ran up over 10% in a little over a half an hour, so just a fantastic bounce on this one, and I think that this one's probably got a little bit more left in the tank. I wouldn't be surprised if this one does get way up here to the 8-period exponential moving average, right around $29 or so. Of course, that's probably going to drop a little bit tomorrow, but it should at least hit that moving average, and I think it probably could break it because it is making a little bit of a double bottom, and this thing is way overdue for a bounce up. So I think this could easily bounce up to this purple line right here, this 21-period exponential moving average. That wouldn't surprise me one bit, but just a fantastic trade. Another one that I actually did make today was Plug. I was waiting for Plug to come down to the 200-period simple moving average. I bought the 31 call that expires on Friday. I bought options on this one. I bought the 31 call that has 3 days left for 27 cents a piece. And I think this one could get a pretty decent bounce up if it gets one of these type of days right here. You know, those options should pay off handsomely, and that's really not that big of a day. I mean, look, here was one here was another one. I mean, this day, the low was $30.24, and the high was the low was $30.24. The high was $34.22. So that was a pretty decent range. You know, about $4 range day there. This one was probably about the same. Low at $30.10, a high at $34.18. So you can see another $4 move. So a $4 move from here would not be exaggerating for Plug. And if it does that, these options are going to pay off very well. Like in this day right here, if you look at it, the low was $37 and the high was $47. So even a 10-day move is not out of the realm of possibility. I would say that's a little excessive, but I could easily see Plug being up $2 or $3 for the rest of the week, and that should pay good on these options. Hopefully they are, but and if they bounce up $2 or $3 tomorrow, that would be the most optimal situation. But I'll definitely be watching those and looking to get out on those if they do. And the last one I want to talk about was Tesla, and this one is more of comedic relief because I day trade Tesla options every single day in the Patreon live stream, and I've had a little bit of a tough run the last 2 or 3 days, but typically I make money on these 3 out of 4 days. I mean, literally scalping Tesla options, you know, especially if you're just scalping one stock or one option, you get used to, you know, how it moves. If you trade it, you know, every single day, you get a feel for how it moves. So if you're trading one every day, it's really not all that hard to become successful at trading one financial instrument. But anyway, I usually might make money 3 out of 4 days, but today I bought 3 separate calls, and one of them I broke even, and the other 2 I lost money. And if you can look at this day where Tesla is up 8.36% as I'm recording this video, it's up 8.36%, up almost $60 on the day. All I bought was calls, and somehow I didn't manage to kill it. I just bought it, and it just came back enough to stop me out, and it took off every single time. I just couldn't believe it, but that's never happened to me before. It's absolutely ludicrous. If anything like that has ever happened to you before, leave that in the comments so I don't feel so alone in my ignorance. But I just had to share that with you. Looking at this chart, I don't know how anybody could lose money buying calls, but I managed to do it on not 1 trade, not 2 trade, but 3 trades. So, oh well, I made so much money on Tesla over the last couple of years. I guess I can give some of it back, and I'm going to make it back tomorrow, hopefully. But I just had to share that with you. That was such a ridiculous story. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions about any of these stocks, or if you have any other stocks you want me to take a look at, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, guys, and until next time, take care.